Hello and welcome you all for another time management session. So today we are going to talk a little about the profile management, which is a baseline. In the last session, we had discussed the introduction about the talent management, how under Oracle HCM, talent management is one of the pillars, and what are the work areas available in the talent management, what Oracle Talent Management offers compared to the other ERPs in the market, and like what are the basic things we must be knowing for an implementation, what questions we must put forward to the clients to understand the requirements for an implementation. So these are the basic things we have discussed in the last introduction sessions. If you have not already checked that, I recommend you to go back and then check that video before coming here. So let's anyway get into the profile management, which is the first session for the talent management, as it acts as the baseline to all the work areas that talent management uh, supports, like performance management, goal management, talent review, career development. So anything that comes under talent management, it all carries the data from the profile management itself, because all of this requires the profile details, and this profile details is shared by the profile management module. So like I mentioned, the first thing that we need to know is to share the profile details of the staff or the profile details of the job they work. So for a staff in an organization, they would have a person records, their personal records, and then their employment records. So everything together is set up as a profile, and this profile, we have this components under profile management. We have four components: profile types, content library, content subscriber, and rating model. One of it is profile types. Here it's again subdivided. So now I already mentioned that the profiles are something that is going to be shared. The staff profiles are going to be shared across this different work areas of talent management. And how basically like the data would be shared is like we create a content, and these content details, whatever the talent related data which is grouped together, and that data has to move into like goal management. For the target outcomes, you have to identify what is the staff uh, goal that was assigned and what is that he has reached. So based on his profile that we need to calculate. And during the annual review, we review his profile uh, based on his what is the additional thing he has done. And so all of this is done. So which is why this is going to behave as the basic. Now coming to the four components of profile management, profile types. Profile types is like we categorize the profile details of a staff based on his personal records and based on his employment records. Employment record as in his job, his position, or the organization. How based on the organization, what is they follow? It is a job records or the position records. Are they going to use the position as well? Then we make use of the position profiles as well. If not, it is only going to be the job profile data. So first thing is this, which is profile types, which is to share the details to the in a timely fashion. What is there in the person profiles, like the skills and qualification of a person, his education, his accomplishments, his competences, his certifications. So everything is recorded under the person. We create a contents, and then under contents we all record this. And then as soon as a person is hired, those profiles will be created for them And based on the job that is tagged, the model profile it's going to get tagged to them. And now how it's going to tag to them, where exactly it is available, we'll see that in the following sessions. Now let's only check how this can be created. The person profile types, if it is a person profiles, how it can be created in the system. It's a model profile, which are for the job, position, and organization. There are two more things. Basically, for the responsive UI, wouldn't be seeing an additional one, whereas in Redwood, which is an advanced user interface Oracle has released in the latest releases. There is one more model profile that we can see. So the basic things are these: job position and the organization. Even if positions are not being used, we don't make use of the position profile. It depends on how they wanted to craft it. All the talent related data, how they wanted to derive it. Based on the requirement itself, we have enough uh, way of categorizing that Oracle has already. So yes, like whatever the person profile we have, the similar model profiles will be available. So let's say for the person, there are some accomplishments, competencies. These are some few contents that we create. So similar way, um, in sync with that itself, we create the model profiles because the equation has to match. They only it's for the same stack, right? Which is why the person model profile would be equivalent to the person profile. Whatever the values we would see in model profile, that is going to be similar as person profile. So next thing about it is content library. So everything that we create under the profiles is all based on the content. So it is the content, like accomplish is one content, and like education, language, skills. Uh, then we have multiple other thing like performance. So everything is the template. So here content library uh, is the repository for all the contents. And this repository has like content template, which is all pre-built. The examples which I shared. Content section is a child of the content. So if it's a competency, what kind of competency? If it's an education, what kind of degree? So all of this comes under content section. And then the in specific to content section, if we are going to define anything, it comes under item. So yeah, that's about the content library, which is like every categorization for the talent related data comes under content library. And this content section is basically what we create for profile types, that under profiles itself, we create a content section. You will see that in the system in some time. Coming to the rating model, this is also part of the profile management, and this rating model is going to be why do we rate it? Like so that we can scale the staff based on what is the proficiency the staff has got. So it is to identify the staff proficiency, we have the rating model. And in this rating model also, we have four components. Components as in how do we define this in the Oracle system is we have something called as level, review points, categories, and distribution. So let's see that as well in the system. So now we discuss rating model, content libraries, and the profile types. So let's first check the profile types. Coming to the profile types, so anything on the profile management, where do we have to navigate is you have to come to the My Client groups, and this profile app is the one which we have to access to work on the profile management. And we have multiple options here. So the three thing that we discussed is profile types. The content section, everything is going to be created here or is going to be available here itself. And then we also discussed about the item catalogs, how the individual section types can be created in the item catalogs, and then the rating models. The rating model is something that we want to attach it to the item catalog. So let's first go through the profile tabs, then the profile rating model, and then come to the item catalog. So if I click on this profile types, uh, the user interface that you're going to see now is the Reddit user interface. This is the new user interface. If you have not yet updated to the Reddit yet, you would not be seeing the user interface as this. Like I had mentioned earlier, there is one additional piece of profile that is available in the Reddit, which is the guide requirements. Now let's only focus on the person profile and the model profile. Person profile can only be one, which is about the people. Person is nothing but people, so it can only be one profile. Whereas the model profile, it's all job. It is all related to employment records. So we can have multiple. But whatever we have it under person profile, it should be equivalent. The job profiles, position profile should be equivalent to this. You cannot have additional profiles in the job profile, which isn't available in the person. Now let's click on this edit icon here against the person. So in this UI, in the person profile page, what you could see is the basic details. There is three sections here: basic details, and then the content section, which we saw earlier, which is part of content library, and then the profile rating, talent ratings. So coming to the basic details, so here we see the profile code and name as person. And this checkbox, what we see is auto create person profile. So this should be checked. When this is checked, as soon as the person profile, the person record is created in the ERP, in this Oracle system, the person profile is going to get attached to them. If it is a pending worker, based on the effective hire date, so this is going to take an effect. So this is about the basic details. Coming to the content section, you could see there are multiple content sections that is already available. So most of these are all pre-built content sections. So it would be available for all the person profile, for the single person profile. And if you want to create any custom profile also, you could create. And then coming down to this page, you can see the profile talent rating. Right, so this, like we have pre-built career potential, advancement readiness, scope loss, performance rating, talent score, inbox cell assignment. All of those are pre-built. There's only one custom, so you could see the template here itself. This is the custom talent rating. Uh, like we have created this externally apart from the ones which is all pre-built. So we have seen in the content library, which is content template, content section, item catalog. The two things, the content template and the content section, which we'll be seeing it here. It's content template is all pre-built one, which is the one which is delivered from Oracle. It's all seated, cannot create any additional content templates. Whereas content sections that can be created multiple. If you see competency, if you see there is one and there are multiple. The competency itself, there is multiple content sections. So let's open one of the content section and see it for ourselves how that looks. Or let's create one. Now let me create accomplishment. So this is the template. This under accomplishment, what kind of accomplishment is it? So like successful implementation. Okay. So what is the description? I can do the same thing. I will just copy paste the whole thing here. And then this is the basic details. If I go inside, click on edit or click on add. What we see here is basic details. In addition to this, some additional feature. Like this additional thing, what we see settings is to First one, it is to make this setup, what we content section, to be active and to be available for uh, in the system to use. And then approval required. If there is any change in the content sections, like addition, create, deletion of anything, should it go through the approval, then you have to enable this. Default section, whether it will be part of person profile when the person is created. So should this come by default or not, then you have to check this default section. And then the LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is if you want, if it is mapped, if the LinkedIn for mapping the LinkedIn, there are certain configurations to be done. So once that is done, if you want to derive the data, LinkedIn data to our talent profile, then this has to be enabled. And coming down, these are all the properties. If you whatever that you see it here, it is all the properties. So you can like uh, let's say accomplishment. So if there is anything, if you would want to change the label, or if you want to change this text type as so this is a by default what it has come. I wouldn't be able to change this, but for the other things, let's say date accomplished. Mm, not able to. Based on the content sections that I select here, these fields will populate. These fields type also, it's all pre-built, and based on the selection itself, it comes. So if I select this as, let's say I'll give it as competency. Now, if you see, there is a different set of fields available. And if I select it, not everything would be here. If you see, this is like I can make changes. It could be item value set or it could be text value. So I can click on apply, it gets saved. So this way, not for every labels that we see, every fields that we it can be modified. The custom label can be modified. Performance rating, I'll just say it as rating. And then in case the value set name, if it is available, I can select that. So this way, I would be able to make changes on the properties of the content sections. And then if this content section needs to be available for different work areas in the talent management, then I have to add the subscriber. Like if it has to be available for performance management, then I have to select it and say apply. If it has to be available for polls, then I have to select and say apply. Likewise, for other career development, so I'm going to select all of it. Talent profile, recruiting. So wherever it needs to be available, this talent value what we see is for the recruiting and this talent profile. So we can we have to select those subscribers and then apply them so that this content section will be available or will be accessed in on the different areas of the talent management. So I'm just going to, so now what I've done is the creation. So I'll just click on add. And so one addition of content section, which we just saw. Um, so this content section, which I just created was the successful implementation. So this content section, if this is created under the person profile now. So under profile talent rating, so this there are default talent rating that is available. If you want to create an addition, there is only like minimum of 2 to 3 talent ratings that we could create. there is a restrictions around it. We cannot create more than that. So I'll just click on update. So this is about the person profile. Now let's go on to model profile and select the same content section that we created now. So if I click on content section, there we saw under talent content sections, like we had the basic details, content section, and then talent rating, talent profile ratings. Whereas here it is not available. In case if I have to sync this to the position as well, then I can enable this. Now what I do, I'll click on content section, I'll click on create content section. So here now I just created that content section, successful implementation. So it's not already available in the model profile. If I would like to include them, I can include. But any addition to it, I wouldn't be able to. So it's only one which available in the person profile that I can add it here and include. So nothing new I can include only under the model profile, which is not possible. So I'll just make it as active. So this is similar based on the selection, whatever the labels that we saw on there, the same would be available here as well. And you can click on, I'll just say successful implementation. So now model profile as well for the job is updated. If I want to sync that to the position only, then I have to sync. Else I can disable this and then click on update. So now our model profile for the job is also updated as well as for the person profile. Now, so what we saw is content template, content sections. Let's go and also the two profile types. Let's now go to the profile rating models. So profile rating model, like I already said, this is to scale the employee's performance and their uh, like proficiencies. So now if I come here, there are multiple rating models which is pre-built and it is available in the system already. So these are the ones: exit interview, like performance management, performance rating model, language rating model. This is all available. Let's take a look at one of it. We'll open the performance rating model. So in this, we had seen there are four components, which are so first thing on this here, what you see is the basic details. Then you have rating data which we would provide. Here it is rating levels. In this rating levels, what happens is like based on the number, the whole number you give, the rating level would be decided. So the higher the number, the higher the rating is. So here in the performance rating model, you could see one is someone who has not performed so well, who did not achieve certain things. Two is the one who have partially achieved it. And three, achieved most expected. If there is anything that I would like to add, I could add that. But whatever that is added here, if I go to the review points, the same will be available and I cannot add, include anything further. So whatever I had added, the levels based on the numbers, the things will be available here. Review points is nothing but like how I would like to, based on the review points, I would average them. Like from 1 to 7, I would say it does. 1 to 2, I would say it does do not achieve. So here, let's say I'm going to say if they have scored from 1 to 2 points in the like the score that they get, if it is from 1 to 2, I'll say they have did not achieve, they are not an achiever. And then I'll say from 3 to 4 as a person who has partially achieved. 4 to 5 are the ones who have achieved the most expected. 6 to 7 are the ones who have fully achieved. 8, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Here I made a mistake. Anyway, let's 8 to 9, and let's say 9 to 10. So this is about the review points. How I'm going to based on this, how I'm going to average them. So that's about the review points. The pointing, the scoring that I'm going to give it for the different levels. And now comes to the categories. This is the way we categorize them. Okay. So I can create it here. Let's say category name is low. It's like categorizing them low, medium, and higher, lower. So category description, I'll say lower again. Lower boundary would be from 1 to 3. I'm going to say because there are only 3 categories that I'm going to do. Then medium, medium, 4 to 7. The high performance, 8, 11. So this is how I'm going to categorize them based on the levels and the points there is. Okay, now I want to distribute it. So how many minimum and maximum staff gets the rating levels? This rating levels, how many supposed to get the minimum, how many supposed in terms of percentage I can give it here. So I say maximum percentage of lower achievers can only be 10%. I don't define the minimum percentage. Likewise, maximum percentage of partially achieved should be only 10 again, or 20, I'd say. Mostly achieved, I want a minimum of 20%. So this way I can distribute how many staff is supposed to get the vote rate. So now let me save this, click on update. Okay, there's also an upper boundary. Okay, probably it was 1 to 1. This was the problem that was happening. But the issues again. So what exactly is the issue? Let's anyway click on cancel. So this is how we usually perform the rating level distributions, categorization, leveling, and then review the points. So that's about the rating model. Let's also check another rating model. See, every rating model would be different. For performance, what we saw is to define their performance. For language, it would be different. So I would say high level performer, high level medium performer, low, and their proficiency based on their language. That also can be done. So that's about the rating model which we saw. Let's move on to the uh, So let's also see this profile content section access. So who can access this? So we have to provide the security, make this content section secure. So let's do that. So this is the recent one, whatever the recently created content section that will be available. So this is the recent one. I'll just add the role for this, like for an employee level user, I would give only to view the content sections. Whereas for manager, I'll let them there are multiple, all roles will be available here. So there are multiple manager. Let's just select it as line manager. So along with viewing access, I'll let them print that. So this it's about the content section. What is the access we restrict, how do we give? And then human administrator. Okay. Job, job analyst. Okay, job analyst. Job analyst, job analyst. Select this and say, let them edit and then print everything. Okay, if I just select it, this should be automatically there. Let's just super access for the HR. Okay. Now there's nothing to save. I just can create it, add what are the roles and everything, and that's it. Okay. So now we saw all of that except the item catalogs. Let's also check the item catalogs now. Okay. So here if you see, this is all the template. Template we already have seen. What are the templates available? We have seen that the same templates are going to be here. In this, like earlier we had uh, created one